I witnessed a drunk dad on my cruise, and what he did with his kid made me nervous. JJ Cruise. Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Jordan and this is JJ Cruise. Thank you so much for clicking into the video today. Well, as you know, Jared and I take a lot of cruises throughout the year, and sometimes we witness things or we see things that gives us pause. Ultimately, we have to decide if they're things that we're gonna talk about with you on the channel, or if they're things that aren't that big of a deal and we need to keep to ourselves. This was one in the last few months that Jared and I really wrestled with. Do we talk about it? Do we not talk about it? But I finally decided that I think that this is a topic that's very important to bring up, and I want to see what a lot of you have to say in the comments. Before I get into it, I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We're getting closer every single day. If you love cruising as much as Jared and I do, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. For many people, one of the favorite things that they do on cruise ships is drink. They enjoy having a nice cocktail or a margarita by the pool. I know for many of you, you like going on cruise ships and enjoying those frozen beverages like pina coladas or mudslides. And that is one of the great parts about cruising and vacation. You gotta take a step away from normal life, and at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, you might be drinking a mojito poolside. One of the most popular things to purchase when you are going on a cruise is a drink package. Drink packages are offered by almost every cruise line, and if you agree to pay the price, you can have as many drinks as you like until you're cut off by the bar staff. And when it comes to family vacations, which cruising is one of the #1 destination for families, well, mom and dad or dad and dad can sometimes become fun parents if they've had one too many drinks. This was always kind of a lighthearted topic with Jared and I up until a cruise where we experienced something that just gave us some pause and made us a little bit unsettled. After a long day of enjoying the cruise, we decided that we were gonna stop by a bar on our way back to the room to pick up a couple bottles of water. Now, this is not abnormal to us. This is not for us to get a last final drink before last call, but it's for us to get a couple of bottles of water so we can have that in our room or have some water when we wake up the next morning. We realized that at this point of the night, most people had gone to bed. The only people at this bar were a dad and his son. And the son looked to be about maybe 15 or 16 years old. We noticed that the guy had just been served a drink, so he had a fresh drink in front of him, and the bartender said, "I will help you as soon as I'm done helping this gentleman here." Well, once we were seated there at the bar, waiting for our waters, he looked up at the bartender and he said, "Is there any alcohol in this drink at all? I don't taste any alcohol." And he kind of said it and fumbled through his words, so it was very apparent that this man was drunk. Jared and I were a little confused because we noticed that she was making 2 additional drinks for this gentleman, and it seemed like at this point of the night, he maybe already had been overserved, but ultimately, that is not our job on a vacation to decide if someone is too drunk or not. She assured this guy that there was plenty of alcohol in his drink, so he started to down it really quick and said, "Okay, we'll make the next one stronger." She then finished up making these 2 drinks. Again, we weren't sure if these were for him or someone else, and she set both of them up on the bar right in front of this gentleman. He and his son took off, heading down the hallway, and we were just there to get waters. So she just grabbed some waters for us, tapped our cards, and then we went on our way. We were actually going in the same direction of this gentleman and his son. Well, as we were getting into the elevator lobby, we could tell once again that this guy was a little drunk and he was here with his kid. And in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, this is like such a bad look to be a dad and be this inebriated in front of your kid, especially out in public. But what happened next really surprised Jared and I. He had those 2 drinks in his hand and he immediately handed one to his son. Now at this point, the elevator doors opened up. Jared and I got inside to head up to our room and the elevator doors shut. So we weren't exactly sure if he handed the drink to his son just to hold, or if he had ordered 2 drinks for himself and then was giving his underage son a drink, Or we also don't know if maybe we just totally misread this kid's age and he was actually 21. The last one, really, I'm not buying, because if he was 21, he should have had his own drink package and been able to use his own card to get a drink. Well, Jared and I were in the elevator kind of going up to our room, and we just started talking about what we should be doing, because there's so many variables here that we didn't know. Like I said, we didn't know the kid's age. We didn't know if maybe the dad just handed that second drink to the kid for a second and then took it back once we were gone. We weren't exactly sure what the situation was, but we didn't have a good feeling. You know, when you see something happen and it just doesn't sit well with you, well, this was exactly that situation. We decided when we got back to the room to just make a quick call to guest services, because again, this guy seemed really drunk, and we wanted to just let guest services know that maybe they should look out for this guy. We let them know what bar we were at and where we saw him with his son, and that it may be a good idea just to have someone check in on him and make sure that him and his family were safe. Jared and I ended up talking a lot about this scenario between the two of us, just because we were kind of replaying it in our minds, thinking, did we do the right thing? And ultimately, what we wanted to ask you here on the channel is, what would you have done in this scenario? Would you have kind of just thought, oh, the drink was probably for the mom or the dad? Would you have thought that he was definitely feeding drinks to his underage kid? Would you have said something to guest services, or would you have spoken up right there at the bar? What would you have done in a situation where you see a drunk parent possibly feeding their underage children alcohol while on your cruise? I do want to clarify that at no point was there any type of harmful behavior in terms of physical behavior or verbal behavior between the dad and the son. They were both actually really happy and things seemed to be completely okay, with the exception of that pass off of the drink as the elevator doors were closing on us. Let me know what you would have done and what you think of this scenario in the comments. A whole other perspective of this is that we cruised in Europe last summer. We even made a video about this where the drinking age is 18. And so it's perfectly fine for kids over there, even on some cruise ships and cruise lines, to be drinking. And when I say kids, I mean adults over the age of 18. Let me know what you think of this scenario in the comments, and let me know what would you have done in this situation. Well, that was it for today. Thank you again for watching. Again, my name is Jordan and this is JJ Cruise. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and hit the like button on the way out. And until next time, see ya.